So now we're going to look at a Latvian gambit where the opening jumps directly into a middle game with no queens in a rather interesting way of declining it. It's really not declining it, but it's accepting it in a different sort of fashion than is usual. And an attack comes from h5, and we're going to see how to counteract that here. So without further ado, we'll start our engine. And that's the capture, which it says good for white. I push, which is bad for black. And now we walk straight into an h5 attack with bishop d2. That's what the computer recommends. And now it suggests d6 as being the right move. And that's actually not what I play. So why not? Well, d6, it says I should allow the check and then move my king to e7. Here it says bishop to e7 now is the preferred move, which is the move I played, of course. So now it says knight to c3. It's looking bleak for black already. So this is not the correct way to proceed. As strange as this may seem, it gives black near equality. So we just pin the knight. The computer's recommending g4, which is kind of interesting, just allowing to capture the bishop. It doesn't make much sense to me. So knight takes h8, and it said computer like knight takes h5, which is not something that I know. There, finally got queen. Takes the computer a minute to figure out what to do. g4, which is obvious. Knight f6. Chase the knight again. This is like the guy's using a computer. Okay, knight to d5, and now g6, and that's what he plays. And this kind of forces us to go after the knight right away. And he can try to escape with it, but he can't really get out of it very fast. Now it says d6 is the right move. I guess I didn't play the right move here. Although who knows, the computer might catch on. Now rook to g1 protects the pawn and gives white a slight edge. So, what got played? Stockfish 8 says h4. He played knight to c3, which, as it turns out, gives us equality. So we don't have to take that knight. All we have to do is attack c2. He has very little hope of defending that without moving his king. Black's beginning to get the edge here. Interestingly, it suggests castling kingside. So, that's a blunder. We check. Forces him to do that. Knight and 8 to c6, and voila, we're fully developed. Black is on the verge of a winning advantage here. So he has to harass that bishop, which would just allow us to back up and attack the pawn or even move to f3. And as you can see, what just happened is a blunder resulting in a loss. So, what's the obvious move? Knight to d4. And that's pretty much the end of the game. And white resigned. So this is a game with no queens after a few moves, and it's a game that looks rather odd, and it just shows the method that black uses to fend off that h5 attack.